So what do we got here?
Well, it's a desk, but it's not really a desk. It's actually a gun.
It's a gun desk.
Yes, when you push down on the inkwell, a bullet fires out through the trapdoor.
Sweet, that means I got a gun aimed at my right now.
I'm coming down to the pawn shop today to try and sell my gun desk. I have no idea how much it's worth. I just really am curious what it was used for and how old it is. If I sell it, that's fine. If I don't, I'm okay with that too.
Where in the world did you get this?
I got it at an estate sale. I was just looking for a nice little desk to put a guest book on. When we got it home, I was trying to figure out how to open it and had a really good look inside it and said, you know, this isn't a desk, this is a gun.
I've seen guns concealed in all kinds of things. Swords, canes, even cameras. I've seen desks with hidden gun compartments, but I've never seen a desk as a gun. It's something straight out of a James Bond movie.
It's not loaded.
Why are you sticking your face in there?
This is why I'm keeping it at an angle here.
I just don't get it. I mean, you're really not going to stop anybody if you shoot them in the thigh with a small 22 like that.
Well, it's not even a regular 22. It's a 22 short or something, it looks like. I mean, the problem is there's no barrel there. The bullet is not going to come out with a lot of power because there's no barrel for back pressure to build up to send the bullet flying. I have never seen one before. I have no idea what this thing is. I only buy guns that are made 1898 and back. That makes it an antique firearm that doesn't have to be registered with the ATF or anything else like that. The problem I have here is I don't know the date this thing was made. Do you mind if I have a buddy look at this thing? Because I am just completely lost here.
Not at all. That's great.
Thanks. I really want this desk. It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. But until I know for sure it was made in 1898 or before, I can't legally buy it.
So where's the gun?
This is the gun.
What? My name is Sean Rich. I own Tortuga Trading Incorporated, and I specialize in antique arms and armor.
This thing is a gun. You press there's the trigger. That falls down, hits the hammer. The bullet flies out this way. You ever seen one?
I've never seen this. What is the practical application? That's what's going through my head.
I don't see one myself.
To have this all built in like this in a tiny little desk, nobody's going to buy this for their children. I mean, I have been collecting guns and weapons since I was 10 years old. I've never seen anything like this. You can see that it's been broken in half once before, but I do not think that a bullet hitting this broke that in half. And if it did, it would have blown this completely off.
Oh, I
or
didn't
it would
know
have put
that.
a hole in it at the very minimum. The realm that this item falls into is a collector's novelty. It could have been even just a one-off or maybe a movie prop, what have you. Who knows what it was really used for?
The other thing is, I don't know how old this thing is.
Anything manufactured before 1898 is okay. You can ship it, you can buy and sell, no problem. Anything after 1898 has to be registered through an FFL licensed dealer with the ATF. The barrel is so tiny, but it's open-ended, means that it could shoot a projectile, and that's an issue. And the other part of this is that, okay, it's one to have a gun, but now you have a concealed weapon because it's a hidden gun. Have you had it apart?
Yes.
Okay, was there any name of manufacturer or any kind of markings on the firing mechanism?
There was the beginnings of a patent number. It said patent 1, and then you can't read the rest.
It looks to be in that 1890s to about 1910 era, but
good.
I couldn't tell you one way or the other for absolute certainty. So if I can't guarantee it, it's a gray area for you and it's not worth the risk. Here's an option. You'd have to bring it to a gunsmith and have him professionally deactivate the mechanism. Then it can be legal to buy and sell.
Oh, I'd love to do that then. That's what I'll do.
I wish I could help you out more. It's just one of those things. Thanks for bringing it in.
Oh, you're welcome.
I really wish I could have bought this because the odds of another gun desk coming in here are slim to none. But the law is the law. Hopefully she'll get it deactivated and bring it back because I would love to have it. Hey, how can I help you?
I have this guitar here, and I wasn't sure whether or not I could legally sell it.
Yeah, I've never had anyone ask me if it's legal to sell their guitar, and that would explain why. It's a tortoise shell. Okay.
I came to the pawn shop today to see if I could sell my turtle shell guitar. As far as its value, I had no clue. If I was able to sell it today, that money will go towards my daughter's college.
Where in the world did you get this?
I bought it at a pawn shop, and for some reason I was drawn to it. I've done a little bit of research on it. The UK government has one that they confiscated through customs. So does the Australian government, and there's a very limited amount of them.
For centuries and centuries, people used tortoiseshell for everything. I mean, it was really prized for a long time. Tortoiseshell was real popular back in the day for making combs, sunglasses, guitar picks, all sorts of stuff. It looks cool and it's incredibly durable. But some tortoises became endangered. So in the early 70s, the trade in tortoiseshell was banned. I mean, it really is beautiful. The way the light goes through it, it's browns and reds and oranges. But my problem here at the moment is, I don't know if it's early 70s or older, which would determine whether it's legal for me to buy this thing. You have to think about it. A bald eagle feather is a $10,000 fine. It doesn't matter if you thought it was a turkey feather. If it turns out to be a bald eagle feather, they're gonna take it from you, they're gonna fine you 10,000 bucks and tell you ignorance is no excuse for the law.
So I've never been here today.
I have a friend with a store right down the street, so he might know the laws on it.
That sounds good.
Okay, let me give him a call.
All right.
I've seen a lot of instruments come through the store, but never anything like this. Making a new guitar out of tortoiseshell would be against the law. So if I can verify that this is old enough and legal to own, then we're looking at an extremely rare find here. Hey man, how's it going?
Pretty good, how you doing?
All right. This is the guitar I called you about.
Wow, sea turtle maybe? Cool, very cool. Guys usually call me down when they have anything with strings on it. I used to play in a bunch of different punk rock bands when I was younger, so it's kind of surprising I can even remember anything, let alone all the stuff I've learned about guitars over the years.
So do you know anything about these things?
They were kind of big after World War II, Korean War. Guys would bring them back from the Pacific, and I know they go for a premium. They go for a lot of money.
So do you have any idea how these sound?
You know, I know that bluegrass guys prefer a real tortoiseshell pick because of the sound, the tone of the pick. Looks like it'd be a weird scale length. The neck looks really short, but not having strings on it, I kind of have no idea. It could sound amazing.
Okay.
You know? So, I mean, what are your concerns?
Basically, is it legal to own? And any idea what it's worth?
This is kind of a tough one because I don't think you'd get in any trouble owning it because there's a lot of this stuff floating around. It's been around for, you know, ever. People have been making stuff out of tortoise. But I don't know about selling it. I would think one that was made really well, you could probably get some money for. And somebody did a lot of work on the inlay. You can see the Rosetta pattern around the sound hole matches the binding and stuff. But this is kind of a tough one. Honestly, dude, I wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole. There's people that have done 10 months of in-house arrest and paid like 20 grand in fines for selling this stuff illegally. That's something I would be concerned with, you know?
All right. Thanks, man.
No problem. Catch you guys later.
Hey, thanks.
Good luck with it, man.
Hey, thank you. I'm going to look at my options as to what I can and can't do with it. I've got 2 girls, and I don't want jail visits from them.
What do we got?
I brought in a 1950s German spy camera.
Very Inspector Gadget of you.
I came to the pawn shop today to sell my 1950s Minox 3 German spy camera. It's about the size of a cigarette lighter. I'm hoping to get about $150 for it. It's my 30th birthday, and I'm hoping to get a little bit of extra spending cash.
Where'd you get it?
It was actually given to me from my mom, given to her from her father, who was in the military in Germany in the 1950s.
So how's it work?
You adjust these little dials here depending on what you're trying to take your photo of. You open it opens up the shutter. You have a little viewfinder there. Then you snap your picture, and it loads that photo right onto the film.
Pretty much just like how every other old camera works.
Yeah, pretty standard, yeah.
Ever since the James Bond movies came out in the 1960s, people have just had a fascination with spies. If this camera was used in the field by an actual secret agent, it could definitely be worth some money to the right collector. Now, as far as this actually being a spy camera, I'm gonna have to call a little bit of bullshit on it. Spy cameras aren't sold to the public. They're made by the CIA or the German equivalent of the CIA. If you give a 10-year-old a camera and say it's not just a camera, it's a spy camera, it probably got you out of your parents' hair for a couple hours a day until you got tired of it and threw it in a drawer. This isn't a super valuable camera, but it's unique enough that some photography collector out there would probably really like to have it. What do you want for it?
No, I was looking to get about $100 for it.
You have a fairly cool item here, man. I mean, it is something that photographers do collect. You have a few major things wrong with it, though. It's old, antiquated technology. I'm not going to be able to get any film for it.
Okay.
You have Bill McCord's name and social security number carved on it. I'm assuming you're not Bill McCord?
I'm not.
Second of all, somebody engraved something in there right there and removed it. For me to buy something and say serial number removed, and the fact that you're not Bill McCord's name on it,
Sure.
those are the 3 biggest red flags I can put into my computer system that there possibly is.
Okay.
I'd say it'd be worth about 50, 60 bucks to the right guy. But with all this on there, it makes it completely illegal for me to have anything to do with it.
All right, man.
So I appreciate you coming in, man.
Hey, I appreciate your time, man. Thank you very much.
I don't think this camera is stolen, but in the eyes of the law, it might as well be. Scratched off serial numbers are a huge red flag in the pawn business. And to tell you the truth, I just don't want to deal with it.
I've got a Penn State University 1973 Orange Bowl ring.
Okay. When did Joe Paterno start coaching? Like 1966?
Still coaching today.
He makes my grandfather seem young.
I decided to come to the pawn shop today to sell my Penn State Orange Bowl ring from 1973. We're remodeling our house, and I could use the money. I think it's worth at least $1,500.
Pops,
Hey, what's up?
let me check that out. Penn State Orange Bowl ring.
Okay, where'd you get this?
You know, I went to Penn State, and guy down the hall played on the team, and he needed some money, and I bought it back then. It was a big year for Penn State because they had the undefeated season.
The name speaks for itself. I mean, it's Penn State. Everybody knows who Penn State is. I mean, they're one of the more historic football teams out there. I mean, I think their first game was in 1886. Penn State has a huge football tradition. And with such a big following, there's people that collect anything Penn State.
On the one side has the player's name and his number and their record, which was 12-0, and it has a score from the Orange Bowl.
So who's Jay Clark?
You know, it was Jeff Clark. He didn't play too much, but he was an outside linebacker for the team.
I just love championship rings. I do got a few of them.
What are you looking to get out of it?
I'd like to get $1,500.
Okay. Mind if I take a closer look?
Sure.
Did you have this ring worked on?
No.
This is the way you got it?
Yeah, that's the way I got it.
I got a problem with this ring.
What's that?
Engraving's been removed on it.
Ooh.
I don't really understand what that does to the ring.
You take a normal wedding band that's been engraved, the engraving makes it 100% identifiable. You take the engraving out, there's no identifying it.
This is a cool ring, and the price is reasonable. But it's illegal for me to buy or sell anything when any identifying mark has been removed on an item. Serial numbers, engravings, anything like that.
I'd be more than happy to buy it off you for 1,500 bucks. Problem is, it's like buying a car without a VIN number.
I could see with a wedding ring, but I mean, here it's Penn State University, it's 1973.
I know that, but you have to look at it from my position. Okay? I can't take it.
Okay.
All right, dude.
Okay.
Sorry I couldn't do nothing with it.
Okay.
I know 1,001 people I could have sold this ring to and made a nice profit. There's no way I'm gonna buy a ring with the engraving removed. Plain and simple.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
I have a coin I think you might be interested in.
What do you got here?
It's a shekel of Tyre, like from the Bible.
Yeah, we only buy American coins, man, so you'll have to take it somewhere else.
Hold on. Since when did we only start buying American coins?
I thought that was our rule.
No.
Whatever.
I found the coin in an auction lot, and I thought it was really neat and may have a lot of significant historical value to it, especially for it to be 2,000 years old from biblical times. And I think they could give me a lot of cash for it.
I mean, basically what you have is a really cool coin that is collectible because it's, you know, from Jerusalem. It's from the time of Christ. Supposedly, Judas received 30 pieces of silver to basically drop a dime on Jesus. And it was probably a coin like this.
So there is a possibility this could be one of those coins, is that correct?
No. The odds are highly against it. They made millions of them.
Sure,
Okay?
But there's still a possibility.
It's however minute, okay? The shekel of Tyre was a really common coin a couple thousand years ago in the Middle East, but there aren't many left. And even though we can't prove that this is one of the infamous 30 pieces of silver from the Bible, It is still valuable due to its rarity. It's really neat how they made coins back then. They struck these with a hammer that was 4 feet long, and the hammer had the face on it. And they literally stood 4 feet back and struck it. Even the most skilled guy with that hammer was never going to get a perfect strike every time. That's why you'll see like this edge is off center. They're all off center a little bit. No two are identical. Everything about this is right. It's perfect. The problem is someone cleaned it. Any coin collector considers a cleaned coin a damaged coin. If this wasn't cleaned, I'd offer you $5,000 for it.
Wow.
Now the big question is, how much do you want for it?
$2,000.
What do you think, chum?
It's old.
Will you take 14?
I can't do 1,400. I just can't really. I mean, it's got the historical value.
It's also been cleaned.
How about 1,750?
1,500?
I could do 16.
Yeah, 1,600.
Deal.
Okay. All right, you want to go write them up?
Yeah.
$1,600 should help out a lot. We've got a lot of new expenses with the extra kid, and hopefully that'll at least get us some diapers bought for a few months.
So your dad thinks he just bought the coin that Judas was paid to betray Jesus with.
No.
How are you ever going to prove that?
No.
You ain't not going to improve it. What are you going to do, test it for Jesus' DNA?
I make a good buy on an ancient coin, and around here, for some reason, I have to defend myself. Second-guessing all my decisions has become like a hobby for these guys.
What did you buy, Rick?
It wasn't the coin that Judas was paid. It's the same type of coin from the same time period. It's not the coin, chum. I got a good deal on it. I paid $1,600 for it. And as soon as I can get it authenticated, hopefully get $2,500, $3,000, somewhere around there, I'm willing to bet I'm going to make a pretty decent profit on this. Hopefully, that will shut them up.
Well, the price don't sound bad, Rick.
Do you do anything around here anymore besides complain?
Well, that's part of my job.
What's up, Andy?
Hey, guys, I got some potentially bad news.
Andy's our head of security, so when he says he has bad news, it can be really bad. What's up?
An out-of-town detective has called Las Vegas police. The Shekel that you recently brought in, there's a chance it might be stolen. They want to put it on hold.
Well, that's $1,600 down the toilet.
Everything we buy goes into a national computer system. All right, you want to go write them up?
Yeah.
And if it comes up stolen, we have to give it back. It definitely sucks, but it's part of doing business in a pawn shop. Okay, so this guy stole it?
Not the guy that brought it to us.
So what, it's been in multiple hands, and I'm the last guy, and I'm the one who gets stuck with it?
Pretty much.
Well, they're gonna have to wait. I sent it out to get graded.
That's my dad for you. When it rains, it pours. Obviously, we can't guess what's stolen or not, but throwing away more money on top of it is just his MO.
You know, I mean, it sucks that it happened, but what am I gonna do?
Damn it, Rick, you can be more careful on what you buy.
Well, how am I supposed to be more careful? This guy legitimately bought it from a different guy. This is just a great excuse for you to complain.
To pay for something and then have to give it back? I might have lost my job over that.
You know they have a point, Rick.
Here's the guys, Andy.
My security guy, Andy, found out that the Shekel I bought was stolen. Now he's got some sort of update. I hate to think, what could the problem be now? So what's up?
The coin we've been working with the police on, turns out that the guy who originally owned it got compensated for his loss. It's ours. They released it this morning.
So it's not stolen. Dodged a bullet there. Luckily for us, the coin was insured and the insurance company paid for the loss. So that makes the coin free and clear.
Hey, Rick, don't do the end zone dance yet. We don't even know if the damn thing's real.
If it's real, will you shut up?
Probably not.
Well, here's the moment of truth.
Hand me those scissors.
You think that Shekel's real?
I don't know. I just think somebody should have checked before we bought it.
Yeah, hopefully next time Rick will be more careful.
I've been in the coin business my entire life. It's real. There's no problem. We get to keep the coin, and they're still giving me hell. It never ends.
Is it real? It's not real.
It's real. See, I told you.
Good for you. After 30 years in the coin business, you got it right.
I hate my family.